Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Profitable Prescription Podcast,
hosted by Dr. Mehrdad Hariri. Join us every week for insightful discussions about the future of pharmacy business.
Welcome back to another episode of the Profitable Prescription Podcast. I'm your host, Mehrdad Hariri. Today, we have a great show in store for you. It's about something that I get asked often, and it's called CAC, or Customer Acquisition Cost. We'll discuss what that is, why is it important, and ways that you can improve your CAC. So let's get started. Do you know your CAC? Do you know what your customer acquisition cost is? Well, customer acquisition cost is a critical metric for any business, including pharmacists, as it helps assess the efficiency of marketing and sales efforts in acquiring new customers. In pharmaceutical industry, where there's high competition and regulations are stringent, understanding and managing CAC is crucial for sustainable growth and profitability. So let's define CAC. What is CAC? CAC is the total cost by a pharmacy to acquire a new customer. It encompasses all the expenses related to marketing, advertising, sales, promotional activities aimed at attracting and converting potential patients into loyal patients. I know as a pharmacist, we often don't think about CAC since historically speaking, we didn't have to go and get customers since pharmacy is in a price inelastic industry where demand often remains constant despite price changes. Simply put, no matter what happens, patients will need their medication. According to the U.S. Small Business Administration, spending 7 to 8% of your gross revenue for marketing and advertising is ideal if you're doing less than $5 million a year in sales and your net profit margin after all expenses is in the 10 to 12% range. I know in today's tough pharmacy business, it is hard to make a profit, let alone making an extra 10 to 12%. So here's my recommendation. First, in general, your marketing foundation includes your brand, marketing strategy, website design and development, and other digital marketing such as social media, communication media, such as podcasting and other audio or video mediums. So let's assume a pharmacy does about $3 million in gross sales per year at a gross profit percentage of 20%. It means that your gross profit is about $600,000. We also know from statistics that the percent gross profit you need, including wages, rent, and other overhead, takes about 16% of your gross profit. In this example, it would be $480,000. That leaves you with roughly about $120,000 net profit margin, or about 4% of gross sales, well below the 10 to 12% that I was just talking about. We know that this laser-thin margin does not leave room for any error. So what should a pharmacy owner do? Well, I tell you, invest in your own pharmacy. I learned many, many years ago when I opened my first pharmacy over 31 years ago that the money I invested in my own business gave me much more ROI than any stock market and real estate. Where can you invest your money and get 500% return on your investment in 1 year? Think about that. But you have to know where and how to invest it. And the laser thin margin, which I just mentioned, need to be invested in things that long-term brings you business and higher margins. So did you know that most big box stores spend at least $190 per customer to get them in the door? They understand the value of customer lifetime value, or what's called LTV, and invest for the long haul. As pharmacy owners, you should be thinking the same way, but without spending $190 per customer. I recommend you invest in your brand building, professional engagement, marketing strategies. So a good engaging website and not a one-size-fits-all or a generic site, because, it's cheap, right? And cheap brings in cheap. And podcasting. So you say, podcasting? Yeah, podcasting, because it works for you 24/7, 365 days a year. And because you are the face of your own show, and people trust you more than their own doctors. Example, our RX podcast, where you get up to 4 episodes per month and over 2 hours of airtime, where you can invite other team members, other professionals, or community members to be on your show discussing anything that engages your patients, and have them keeping coming back with automatic notification. So if you invest just $89 per month on podcasting, and you have a total of 200 listeners per month per episode, it would mean that a total of 800 times someone listened to your show. Let's call it the ad, right? It would mean that each time someone listened to your show or ad costed you 12 cents. So let's talk marketing budget. Marketing budget refers to all the costs for marketing, advertising, public relations, promotions, or anything else you might blanket under that very wide cast called marketing. On a day-to-day basis, for example, Google AdWords, social media, print ad, sponsorship, collaterals, and even podcasting. You should spend about 2 to 5% of your sales revenue on marketing, depending on your store. If you need to know more about how to get the most out of your marketing dollars, give us a call or visit us online for a one-on-one consultation.
Thanks for tuning into the Profitable Prescription Podcast. If you'd like to be a guest on our show, please contact us with the email in the description, and please be sure to like and share our podcast on your favorite playlist directory.